hello, you archaeologists. I'm the Johnstruct. Welcome to the proximity. I am about to begin a Clive Barker's Undying adventure. It doesn't say it on the screen, because I don't know, back in the day, I guess they didn't say the name of the game on the screen. Although this has been modded so it could be played on widescreen at full resolution, because it does weird stuff to my computer if it's lower than that. It's really annoying. So I'm glad that that mod exists. Now this is a horror game because it's by Clive Barker, famous for the Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2, I was going to say, but those are movies, and he wrote the book. I don't know if he wrote other books. He wrote lots of books, for he is a writer who writes books. This is also a part of my Frights and Fights playlist. Now, one, that should be behind my head, and I still have not updated that. And I can't do it now because I can't really alt-tab this game. But two, clearly I've not updated this. So you're not going to get... The idea is I started from like 1996 or 1997, I can't remember what year, Resident Evil came out. But I was going forwards a year. So what did I play? I did Resident Evil. After that, I did Realms of the Haunting for like 1997. I think I did Resident Evil 2. I did Dino Crisis, Kodelka, Devil May Cry, and Undying. And hopefully those represent a year. I might have been a little sneaky with some of those years because games released different times in different countries. But yeah, this was going to be Onimusha originally, because I believe it came out the same year. And I decided that even though I'm enjoying those Capcom games, I could play Onimusha anytime, whereas Undying is a sort of a more interesting choice. And Realms of the Haunting and Undying kind of come from a similar lineage in terms of first-person horror games about spooky houses, the sort of plotty. It's also double whammy. It's day 69 of Project 99. What's that? Oh, I bet you are excited about to learn what the hell that is. I was trying to... the game does not like the fact I pressed that button. I have this project, right? I have to do this every time for every single game. Where is it? It's one of these buttons. So I had this project. I had to buy a house because I'm almost 40 and I should own a house by now. So I bought the cheapest one in the cheapest town. That's not true. Cornwall's really expensive, but it is the cheapest house. It's not a house, it's a cottage. It's cheaper. I'm going to be paying it for the rest of my life. Anyway, what I thought, you know, because like there was this long radio silence, I would stream a different game a day, and I did. I made a list, and day 38 I got distracted and just decided to play Final Fantasy 16 and then pack up my home, because suddenly I did have to move. So I actually took like 3 years, a couple of 3 months off, and then I thought, you know what, I've moved in. I'm in a new house now. It's a cottage. So we'll carry on, and I have. So really, we've only gone from day 39 to day 69. Nice. And as you can see, if I jump over here, today is Clive Barker's Undying. I did play Onimusha Warlords yesterday, but it's not specifically. It's not a part of what I call the Fights and Frights playlist. It means I'll be playing this today, but who knows when I'll be playing it next, because I have schedules I try to keep, and I'm trying to do this on top of it, and I'm waiting for Final Fantasy Rebirth. It kind of conveniently ends about after day 99, funnily enough. But yes, I've been meaning to play this for years. I played it when it came out. I never finished it. That's true for like so many games. But I have since watched reviews and breakdowns of the game. But you know, it's not the same as playing the game. So one thing I can say is I've gone into the video control. We can burn things. We can burn the quit button and the controls, the credits. Burn it all with our flame cursor. So yeah, what I liked about this game, I think everyone remembers if they played even a tiny bit of it, and also is having the scrying tool and having to be seeing all those cool paintings that had like that change to the evil form, and it's very evocative. Let's jump on it, shall we? See if my computer explodes or not. We are going to have to play on mouse and keyboard. I believe there's probably a mod that lets me use my controller, but let's not mess around too much. We've burned the easy, we've burned the medium, we've burned the nightmare, and we've burned the cancel button. So now there's nothing to play. I'm going to play on medium, I guess. I should probably ask. This is me grabbing my phone. Genuine merch, John merch you can get. Oh, it's my snails. Which snails? You've seen them already. These snails here that I use to keep some movement on the screen if I need them. Google Clive Barker's Undying. What difficulty mode should I play? Please Google Clive Barker's Undying. What difficulty should I play? I'm gonna ask my phone. Damage levels, enemy health and volume. Apparently easy is quite difficult. Okay, I'm gonna play on normal. Or it's not even called normal, because normal apparently wasn't normalized at this point. I'm gonna play on medium. There's no intended difficulty here. Let's yeah, okay, the snail's not coming back. There's our UI. That moon seems to be it.
I'm tired of traveling or fighting superstition and its many manifestations. Even though it was me who chose to debunk folklore and mysticism. Little did I know I'd end up being labelled as Patrick Galloway, the man with endless occult knowledge. Before I knew it, people all over the world paid me to investigate all kinds of weird things.
I need to shave this down. Grow my hair.
I'd look into it. Funny thing though, the more I saw, the more I believe there are forces beyond our control. Creatures not explainable in any human terms. Things that make my skin crawl.
Fog wipe.
I fled from Ireland and hung around Paris and London with no real purpose till the Great War started. I joined a special unit whose job it was to squelch the fears of the superstitious farm boys who made up the fighting ranks. The Tresanti were the biggest pains. The commanding officer, Jeremiah Covenant, led our unit in the hunt for their camp. We were ambushed. They came streaming out of the woods, waving swords and howling like banshees. I saw their leader holding a strange stone over his head, yelling weird words in a strange tongue. And just when he was going to pull the trigger, he glared right at me. A bright green flash came from his hand, and it bowled me over as my gun went off. I woke up in a hospital bed with severe burns. They told me Jeremiah and the unit had gone on without me, but he'd given me the shaman stone to keep. I hadn't given any of this much thought until I came back here to find this letter that Jeremiah wrote me almost 6 months ago, asking me to come back to Ireland and help him out. This is not something I'm dying to do, for it may mean the death of me. He saved my life, so I owe it to him. Just hope it's not too late.
And also, Realms of the Haunting is also set in Celtic lands as well. But that's in Cornwall and this is in Ireland. So, if I press F3, I can access my journal. Each time my past fades from my memory, fate has a terrible habit of reawakening me. Most often the unpleasant name of Otto Kessinger, the vehicle of remembrance, but not today. Is the vehicle, sorry. My old friend is the commanding officer of in the Great War, Jeremiah Covenant, sent me word. It has been years since I've heard from him. His letter came whilst I was away, sitting unopened for nearly 6 months. My joy at reading his name was quickly replaced by sorrow, then by fear. Jeremiah, ooh. This is biscuit flavoured tea. It's cooked, it's very nice. Could be hotter, but it's not cold. Replaced by sorrow, then by fear, Jeremiah has fallen ill and requires my assistance at his estate in Ireland. I have not set foot on Irish soil since my poor Gwendolyn's death, and I did not think anything could make me return. Could I have been responsible for her death? Being legally exiled from my homeland was painful, but nothing of comparison to my memories. How did she end up on the floor? How could so much blood come without a sound? How was the knife in my hands? Why was Kissinger suddenly nowhere to be found? But Jeremiah saved my life, and I cannot deny any request he'd make. The necessity of my presence is somewhat vague, and his letter at times was incoherent. He speaks of his sickness as a family illness no medicine can cure. I'm surprised, I guess you'd need an Irish accent as well, that nobody has read these out loud and put in the game. Need to be your old friend Jeremiah Covenant. The girls, because the stone I carry, this artifact, ever since the day Jeremiah gave it to me following the Battle of the Tusanti. It seems to throw a shock wave of considerable force. Ever since I acquired the stone, I have noticed strange sightings and visual anomalies. However, the power of the stone has its dark side. On occasion, a beast from beyond this world has attacked me. My only explanation for its appearance is that I was using the stone's power for far too long. I've not seen the beast for a while, but of course, I've not needed the stone. Patrick. Trusty revolver, a 6-shot weapon, forged metal grace. Durable yet lightweight, my military piece has seen many a country and spilled much blood over the years. Scry. A spell that allows me to see and hear past events from the geographical location in which I happen to be standing. It also casts an ethereal light on enemies and darker areas, giving me the ability to see my foes as well as find my way. I must be careful in its use, as it has no offensive power and it seems to drain my energies for short durations. Learned men have stated that they believe that the man has yet to unlock the full potential of the mind. While travelling to the Orient after the war, I met up with a local seer, told me that I was one of the chosen few. One of only a handful of individuals that he's ever met this ability. He called it scrying, to be able to read portions of the past. Most of the people who possessed this power, he said, over the course of their lives, eventually fell into disability, mind-tired from the barrage of images and sounds that could be heard from both the past and the present, the real and the unreal. I know I have the ability to scry because of the subtle words I hear calling within me at times, begging me to look deeper into the past, deeper, but actually isn't even in front of me. But I'm truly wondering if this is the gift I dreamed of, or sick curse. I don't have a lot of space there. Sick curse placed on me by an outside force. So I can't really alt-tab, and if I try too many times the game will crash, and then I won't be able to turn the game back on without turning off OBS, because things don't like to interact with each other. But when I first tried to stream this, like 10 minutes earlier, I'd accidentally had a video on of some wrestlers playing a wrestling game, and just like Xavier Woods just nattering, and I was like, I can hear voices. I can hear Xavier Woods, and I was like, oh fuck's sake, I have to pause the stream and start again. There's some ratties. See the ratties? Can I crouch? I can. A little sort of peek underneath there. I can hear the ratties. Can you hear the ratties? There they are. We're not gonna stand next to them because I think they do bite. There we go, they do bite. Bit aggressive, but you know. And if we press the right mouse button. Yeah, it tells me to scry. The left scry mouse button? No, that does the shockwave. There we go. The ratties fed on the blood of whoever the fuck that was. Somebody. Leave me alone, rats. Oops. There's some batties. Farewell. And we simply walk towards the door for it to open.
I'm Patrick Galloway.
So there we go.
Jeremiah.
You can see the graphics now.
Sorry it took me so long to get here. His letter said it was most urgent.
Jeremiah is beginning to think that the letter never arrived in your hands. He's been quite anxious to see you. We've all been quite worried. Jeremiah's now bedridden. Follow me and I'll show you to his living quarters. I apologize for the look of the house, but there's only a skeleton crew of servants now. Jeremiah,
Yeah, that's why my house is a mess as well. Just a skeleton crew.
Because we've lost electricity to
Lost.
the house, we can only maintain living quarters.
Quarters.
This family's had so much tragedy. I hope you can help him.
Yes, so do I. Oh, nope, I am still not in control. So we might want to... Oh, they're all still burnt. That's interesting. Audio. We can enable 3D hardware. Ambient voiceover. Yes. Okay. I don't think subtitles is a thing. There we go. Look, you can see I'm playing in a resolution that was not available originally. But yes, there's no subtitles, which would be nice. Oh, it's some spooky ginger man. Some spooky zombie man. Yes, don't forget this is a horror game. But we have a health pack.
Patrick, you made it. At your service, Jeremiah.
There's a ginger monster in here.
Sorry for the delay, but I've been abroad. What happened to you?
It seems I've come under the watchful eye of the Reaper, my friend. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Apparently too long.
Patrick, I came back from the war only to find my entire estate in disarray. My brother Aaron disappeared first, and then my sister Bethany.
The painting.
My declining health is a result of an old war wound, and unfortunately, the symptoms are irreversible. I didn't summon you here to watch me die. I need your help.
Anything I can do. Just name it.
Strange events began happening around the manor. After thinning out my staff, they ransacked my estate, taking whatever they could carry. The rest of the help was quick to follow, as they feared rumors of my family's curse. I can't help but think it's more than a coincidence that strange happenings have increased since I've been back from the war. I want to get to the bottom of this, but I'm just too weak to investigate it myself. I'm relying on you to step in for me.
Of course, Jeremiah. The only reason I risk coming back here is to assist you however I can.
My thanks to you, Patrick.
What the hell is that?
Sounds like it came from downstairs.
Patrick, you already saw a monster.
I'll check it out. Lock the door behind me.
Isn't he bedridden? We was not allowed to stay in that room. We have a new journal entry. I've arrived in time, apparently just in time. Completely bedridden, Jeremiah is a shadow of his old self, appearing many pounds and a few shades lighter. His explanation for calling me is still unclear. He speaks of strange happenings around the estate. Problem is, he was unable to rectify in his weakened state and has requested that I investigate. I of course agreed. Before I could ponder where to begin my exploration, the servant showed me Jeremiah's room, screamed from downstairs. Often where to begin is the most difficult step. Also, there was this ginger floating bloke who claims to be, you know, he was on the family painting, and, you know, then he was a monster. I will not write this down, probably not important. So I will say I know the plot. I know the twists. I know vaguely what's going to happen throughout the game. So there's not going to be any surprises in that way. I won't say it out loud. But like, just, you know, if you know, then I know. Won't budge. Still doesn't make any damn sense.
Jammed.
Just an ordinary coal shuttle.
Jammed. Won't budge.
So if I roll the mouse, it will give me new weapons. Oh, it's that guy. It's Ginger Edgar Allan Poe.
Stuck.
Yeah, I don't remember the layout at all. But it has been over 20 years since I've even looked at this game. I think by the time I had proper access to it and time, of course Resident Evil also started with Spooky House now that I think about it. So this would be our third Haunted House game? Huh. Okay, hang on. One door at a time, I wasn't expecting.
Flesh are broken and the world becomes apparent.
Okay then. Got some bullets. So one of the things I love about this era of gaming is that just nobody knows how to scale anything. Just like, we know how tall people are, we know how big windows are in comparison to them in chairs, but no fucker ever like made clear that in computer games. You know what I mean? Like, there was no concerted effort to have things just be the shape of things. And I appreciate in computer games you need big wide spaces anyway. But like, you could just have large rooms. They don't have to be like magically large. Because somebody's figured out like our chairs probably should be that big. But like, look how big these doors are compared to. I can jump. I'm guessing Pat is like 6 foot because he's a hero man, and look at him, he can fully like jump and like not even touch the top of the. I mean, he could be tiny. He could be a tiny man. I'm shorter than Poirot, so like I would like to have in computer games of other short folk. There I am. Spooky. Like, who is this mirror in aid of? Who's experiencing this part of the mirror? Somebody's not having a grand time. Cheeky fuck. Cool. That's very satisfying. What was that the maid that showed me around? Oh, she's had her face mauled off. Oof. Oh yeah, I can shock them away as well, can't I? Apparently I... Ah! How do I use one of these medic packs FV. Oh. I don't know how much health pack gives, but I can save my game and find out. Controls. How do I actually use? Enter or Q. I'm gonna load my game. Seems like Medipack kills a little bit more than that. Ah, Patrick, he's the show off. I don't load my game, but because I took too much damage. Nice. Jammed. Damn, I'm good. God, these stairs. It is. He wasn't lying. It is a big house. What the hell? Okay.
Those beasts were after me.
What in God's name were those things?
They're called howlers. And while I've never seen one before tonight, I've heard of them for years.
For years.
Natural, my friend. We're fighting more than superstitions here.
Perhaps I was being naive not to tell you, but there might be something more sinister at work here. When I was a boy, I encountered something I can't quite explain. You see, there was this isle of standing stones that sits just off the estate. Someone had carved a sigil into each of the stones, something indiscernible. Father had many books on the occult, one of which contained a sketch of that very symbol. I took my brothers and sisters out to the island and read from my father's book.
Well, what happened?
Something answered. The ocean began to boil, and a great wind whipped against us as we stood in the circle, and my siblings huddled to the ground in fear. Eventually, the wind died, and the sea settled. Patrick, I know it sounds like the ravings of a dying man, but I believe those standing stones had something to do with this. What has once been a taint upon this family has now begun to manifest itself.
But you told me you're dying. Doesn't this curse end with you?
Who knows? My brothers and sisters are dead, but I don't think they're really gone. I've heard some servants whispering. They think they've seen Lisbeth on the estate. My family has come for me. I sense them, Patrick. By now, you and I know the supernatural exists. You saw the Howlers. And what about our encounters with the Tersante during the war? You still even carry the Gelzebar stone with you.
It's a token of the shaman's life I took. That's all.
I found a scroll with a picture of the Gelzebar on it. I believe it contains the way to awaken the stone's dormant power.
Very well. Let me study this scroll overnight, and I'll see what I can do in the morning.
This house still hides many secrets. I'm counting on you to reveal them and put an end to this mess.
Right, well, we've been given a quest. The next day, your guest room. New journal entry. Let's check it out. It's that J. It's F3, John. The piece to the puzzle. The scream downstairs was the result of an attack of a beast. Something Jeremiah calls a howler. I don't know. Like, I know howling and howl is very ghost coded, but like howler is just a funny word. Similar to a dog, the animal was pale in complexion, had claws as long as my arm, and could leap several meters from a dead stop. I killed the fiend, and also like 12 others, but before I could thoroughly inspect the corpse, it vanished without a trace. Upon questioning Jeremiah, I am a little more unnerved than I was after seeing the howler. He told a story involving his brothers and sisters, an isle of standing stones, and sorcery book of his late father's. Apparently the Covenant children, led by Jeremiah, went to the island and read from the strange book. He maintains it was simply a prank to scare his kin. He believes something from within the ring of stones answered back, raging the sea, angering the wind, shaking the earth. Since that time, Jeremiah has been visited by terrible misfortune. All of his brothers and sisters have passed away. I recall one late night in a foxhole. Jeremiah showed me a picture of the younger sister, Lisbeth. No more than a teenager, she was so striking I found it hard to concentrate on his descriptions of the others. Anyway, Jeremiah was not completely convinced they were indeed dead. Or to be precise, he's not sure they have remained dead. I suspect that these delusions brought on by his memory of the day at the stones. Otherwise, I can only imagine this is a terrible prank played upon a dying man. But if there are only delusions, why not inform me of them when we first spoke? Why would he not write me of such in his letter? Perhaps he did not think I would come. Ectoplasm. Oh, I just realised that's a down arrow. The scroll Jeremiah gave me has revealed a powerful spell. It seems that my proper concentration and focus of my mind, I'm able to release the ethereal bolts of ectoplasm from my hand. Unreliable at far range, mystical damage seems quite effective at close quarters. Okay. How do I do that, though? So end. Ah! There we go. Let's scribe, but we can ectoplasm if we want. And also we have bullets. There's a bust.
Have you noticed anything strange going on?
Apparently, Elizabeth's room was broken into last night during the commotion.
Where's her room?
Just down the hall from here. It's quite a mess.
Why is this place so tall? Look at how tiny it looks compared to the room. Window.
Jammed.
Like, who the fuck's reaching those? We are a baby in a giant's world.
Tell me what you know about Lisbeth.
Why, she was a fetching young lass. Quite the fiery temper, though. She could be placid and calm 1 minute, and then suddenly she's spitting curses and swinging her nails at you like an animal. 'Tis a pity her mother died birthing her.
Indeed.
Following her mother's death, I'd raised Lisbeth like my own. In the end, the wasting sickness got her. I'd cared for her when she was sick and watched her wither away to nothing. Pity a young woman has to die in the spring of her life. Now she rests with her poor mother at the family mausoleum. The groundskeeper claims to have seen her recently. Oh man, seeing a ghost is never a good omen.
Where
No, I
can
suppose not.
find this groundskeeper?
He's out in the gardens. You can get there through the kitchen.
Your knowledge is appreciated. Thank you.
I spoke with the maid about Lisbeth, the siblings' mother. Evelyn apparently died while giving birth to her, and the housekeeper filled the void of her maternal absence. She said that Lisbeth was a very beautiful girl with short, violent fuse who passed away from a wasting disease. I took note of the irony of someone who was beautiful dying of such a heinous disease that calls for the destruction of their vanity. Is that ironic? The maid said that the groundskeeper believes to have seen Lisbeth alive. Having seen Lisbeth with my own eyes, I can only believe the maid's frightful testimony. Have you seen Lisbeth with your own eyes? I'll go down to the kitchen and try to find my way out of the gardens anyway. It's just the family photo, but those two have been cut out. Where did you come from? Likes the dogs.
House needs a priest.
Nope, don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. Nope. I don't want to accidentally kill you. How do I change the spell? End. Oh, you've got to hold it down. Spooky dogs. On nights like when I cannot sleep, I look from my bed to the monastery out my window. The reflections of the waters that separate us ripple across my bedroom walls, filling the room with waves of moonlight. If it is quiet enough and the wind is still, I can hear them chanting. Their prayers roll across the water and fall upon my ears like a lullaby, rocking me to sleep. It fills my body with such a quiet peace. And yet, I cannot help but wonder how something that provides so much security could at the same time haunt me. At midnight, the chanting stops. The brilliant lights of the monastery go black, except for a tiny glow that emanates from the entrance to the catacombs. I watch that single light. I can see the shadow of the monks at the entrance. It is then that I feel a slow creeping dread from my stomach, as if the island somehow has hold of me. I have overheard bits and pieces of a story from the hushed conversations about monks who died a horrible death years ago among these grounds. It is said their tortured souls were put to rest within the catacombs, and that their two brothers have stood guard at the entrance each night. I cannot help but wonder why. What are they waiting for, or hoping to ward off? Are they bound to the island with the same unknown force as I? The Lord works in such mysterious ways. But how can a just God allow for his own flock to die within sacred grounds? Surely there is another force working among us, one capable of pure evil. A loving God could never allow such a pain and agony. It is that force that eats at me at night, leaves my dreams unsettled. Are the waters enough to keep me safe? I wish just once I could lie in the grass outside the catacombs for a light, and put these haunted dreams to rest. Must end these nightly visions and seek the truth, Lisbeth. To the kitchen? Spot of ray tracing. Guess it's this way.
Locked.
Nope, I need the study key. This is where I came from, isn't it? I might have to go back, but I'm thinking I should probably check
Stuck.
the other doors first.
Need a key.
Oh, that's Bethany's. Yeah. Bethany and Lisbeth are two different people.
Locked.
Help me!
Just Not the most effective thing in the world. I thought the maid died. Because it must have been another maid. And it comes back reasonably quickly. I've seen this as a screenshot. Just gonna save my game. I believe we're going down to the kitchen.
Jammed.
Jammed.
Stuck.
Stuck. It's a good sign. What secrets does this painting hold? Ooh, weird secrets. All monsters apart from the guy in the middle who's dead. Let me take one more look. Oh dear. That's not good, is it?
Locked.
Oh, there's Lisbeth. Wait for it to charge.
Locked.
And it requires the east wing key. So, I won't lie, I'm getting a little bit of simulation sickness. It happens sometimes with first-person games, which is going to limit the time I can play this a little bit. Now, there isn't that much movement. So, you know, it's I'm not having my view ripped away from me or anything like that. But I've started to notice it already. Stuck. Doing quite well for health packs. This is what appears to be the kitchen. I did see a servant.
Is that the door to the gardens?
The door.
Yes, it is. However, I don't have the key. I lent it to the maid. I believe she's cleaning Herr Keisinger's room today. It's located in the east wing of the house.
Keisinger?
Thanks. I
I've
appreciate your
got the
help.
east wing key. Well, let's go back upstairs then.
Stuck.
Why does that guy have a key in this house? Yeah, so the gun's pretty good for like feeling like a solid punch, you know? Whereas the spell feels like just blowing bubbles at the enemy.
Won't budge.
Where is it? I know it is around here someplace.
I wonder what he's looking for.
Ah, here it is.
What you reading? Wonder if I can get that. Curious. I don't know if I use that key or not. I think the east wing is upstairs.
Won't budge.
Where did those monsters go?
Won't budge.
I found them. Yes. But Jericho, I understand, is awful. I'm not breaking those walls down.
The great hall of paintings. There is the truth. Image becomes reality. He will rise again. The ritual continues through our blood.
Well, at least that guy's having fun. Have you seen this yet? Also, hello, Craig. Spooky painting, spooky! I meant the painting specifically, but the game as well. It's about a haunted house. So that guy, we were in the war together, and he saved my life, and I got a letter saying, but bad shit's going down, and like all his siblings are supposedly dead, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna die tonight, and spooky shit's going down because of a curse, but I don't think his family is dead because, ooh, oh wow, it sounds like you're gonna have a very busy day. That's this is of course a part of my it's taking a lot of space. Fights and flight playlist. Flights and frights even. Although it's a very low resolution painting. Oh, I used the East-Wing key. Lovely. And also my day 69. Nice day.
Jammed.
Oh, there's 2 doors.
Bethany often used this room as her office after Jeremiah left for the war.
Dead spooky ghost. Is there anything else in here I need to see? Right, I saw Ginger Edgar Allan Poe in this room. He seems to have... Oh, fuck. Take these soap bubbles. Okay, how do I... V? Okay. Yeah, I forget I can do that. Save our game. Jeremiah, I'm warning you about Bethany. She's become obsessed with Father's books since you left for the war. She's increasingly paranoid and secretive. She locks herself in the sunroom and disappears on horseback. I know she's corresponding with a number of outsiders. I fear she's making family business known to these strangers. I doubt we want her bringing unneeded attention to the family. You know, she is... Oh, there's some poetry I saw as well. She's the last person we could want near the stones. How could you have left us? I feel the fingers of this curse reaching out to us. Don't think you can escape. You know that you have to come back. Damn it, Jeremiah. You have doomed us all, and you are a coward for leaving us. Can you hear the whispers, Jeremiah? Even another continent isn't far enough. Remember, I tried to go as well. I still heard them, even in Asian dens and German gutters. I figured it out. It's inside. It won't be long before you cross the threshold, brother. Oh, no, I did read that. Yeah, we want to go to the gardens, okay. Jammed.
Won't budge.
Ooh. Hello, Rambler. Hello, Mechtel, and thank you for the raid. I will warn everyone, this is a horror game. This is a spooky, spooky horror game about a horrible house. So there's going to be some gore and some spooks, maybe even some scares. So be forewarned that that is a thing. And, like, I mean literal about the gore because it's a Clive Barker game. It might have some puzzles. I think it's more... The main puzzle is... there is a doggo running towards you. How do you stop being mauled? And the answer to the puzzle is a 6-shooter and a spooky spell. I'm just going to load the previous save, the West Wing. And the reason I'm doing that is in an attempt to find